Hey, what's up everyone? It's Professor Niz, and today we got a new Pokemon breakdown for Sableye. He is a new supporter coming to Unite. Of all the new Pokemon that were leaked, he is my most anticipated one. His moveset is extremely creative and is, to me, one of the best designs in the game. They did such a good job with this moveset. I'm gonna go through it with you guys right now so you can see what I'm talking about. So his basic attack reads as follows: becomes a boosted attack with every third attack, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits and decreasing their movement speed for a short time. That's huge. Movement speed reduction on a basic attack. It's huge. Burn a status effect from Cinderace also does this, but not many Pokemon in the game get this on their basic, you know? So this is really powerful early game. Imagine, you know, you have a gank from your jungle and you could just get a free slow just from a basic attack. That's insane. So moving forward, if the user is in stealth when it hits an opposing Pokemon with a boosted attack, it will deal damage and apply a fair effect. This is a brand new mechanic fitting for a ghost Pokemon, and under fear, the opposing Pokemon will be forced to move away from the user. So think about Wigglytuff's Charm passive. When Wigglytuff takes damage, Pokemon are pulled into Wigglytuff. This is the opposite. When you hit them with a boosted attack out of stealth, they will run away from you, which is really strong. When the user enters stealth, he gets a boosted attack immediately, so you don't have to attack something to prepare for it. And I know you're wondering what is stealth. This is his passive. It just has Gengar here on the test server, but in launch, obviously, it would be Sableye here. But Prankster, when the Pokemon with this ability is outside of visual range of Pokemon from the other team, it enters stealth and its movement speed is increased. So he just goes invisible just from idling not near any opposing Pokemon on the other team. Wild Pokemon do not count. When the Pokemon with this ability enters the visual range of a Pokemon from the other team, it does not immediately become visible, but instead remains in stealth for a short time. The stealth lasts longer when approaching a Pokemon from behind. The Pokemon with this ability exits stealth when it attacks. So they're encouraging you to literally sneak around the map and play as a ghost Pokemon, which is extremely cool. And I think it's such a good idea. Okay, this is the same thing. This is just a mistake here. It's the same effect. There's only one effect on Sableye, which is Prankster. Ignore the visual represented here. Let's move forward. Thief is the first move, and then you have Astonish. Let's start with Thief. Has the user dash in designated direction, dealing damage to any opposing Pokemon it hits and decreasing their movement speed for a short time. If this move hits a Pokemon from the other team, it steals a small amount of their Aeos energy. If those Pokemon do not have any Aeos energy, they will be left unable to act for a short time. So think about all the Pokemon that stack early game and how you could start with Thief. Lucario, he keeps trying to score 1 or 2 points. You could just hit him with Thief and slow down his whole, his whole game plan. It's really strong. It's a 7-second cooldown, which is really high for a starter move, but it's a really strong effect. You know, taking Aeos energy and stunning them if they don't have any. So they're punished for not having Aeos energy, and then they're also punished for having it because they lose it. So it's cool. At level 4, you could evolve. You could change to one of these: Shadow Sneak or Knockoff. 0.3 second cooldown, which is insane. Anyway, Knockoff has the user move in a designated direction, then back again while attacking around itself, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon hit by the attacks and leaving them unable to act for a short time. For a short time afterward, the move can be used again. If it is, the user attacks in front of itself with its claws, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits and throwing them. When either the first or second stage of this move hits opposing Pokemon, those Pokemon will drop some of their collected Aeos energy for a short time. They'll be unable to pick up more. When either stage of this move hits the opposing Pokemon that do not have Aeos energy, they will be left unable to act and for a longer duration. While using this move, the user received reduced damage. The upgraded form for a short time after this move is used, and next time the user picks up Aeos energy, the user recovers health and has a movement speed increase. That is insane. So if you had trouble following that, to simplify it, you attack forward and attack back, and then you can use it again to do a sweeping claw attack. And then on top of that, when you hit Pokemon with Aeos energy, you knock some of it off. And if they don't have Aeos energy, they get stunned and thrown for a longer duration. You know, so this is really cool. The upgraded version gives you health back and gives you a speed increase. And while you're using this move, let me see, what was one more thing? the user receives reduced damage. So you take less damage, you gain health, you get a speed boost, you take in Aeos energy, and you're stunning them and throwing them. This is insane. It's a really good move. And the cooldown is 0.3 seconds. Shadow Sneak is the other option. It's a buff. For a short time, increases the user's movement speed and has it enter stealth. While this move is active, the user's next boosted attack deals additional damage. While this move is active, if the user exits stealth, it is not immobilized by a hindrance, it will be able to enter stealth again. So simply, you could go invisible around enemies. Before, with this passive, you could go to stealth when they're not around. But while they're around, you can activate Shadow Sneak to go stealth anyway, and then you can hit them with the boosted basic and get the fear factor. So you can use fear, you know, in the team fight. So you could just pop Shadow Sneak, hit someone with the boosted basic, you get increased damage from this, they get hit with fear, they run off from the team fight, and then if you didn't get hit with a hindrance, you can just use this again and do it again. This is insane. Like, they're probably gonna have to rework some of this if this is working how I'm imagining it. But you're telling me, okay, this is 11-second cooldown. I was thinking you could use it, hit someone, if you don't get hindrance, you can use it again. But I think they just mean enter stealth again, in the sense that, like, you could also go enter stealth from your passive, but, you know, this will be on 11-second cooldown. So you got 11 seconds until you can use this again. The increased duration of this move's effects, and while this move is active, the user is in stealth with gain health. Oh, wow, this is really strong. So he can heal himself in stealth, hit you with a boosted basic, put you under fear, and then he can just run off, go invisible, come back again, hit you again while you can't see him. So this is really insane. I want to test this guy out. Let's move forward to the other move. Astonish is a 9-second cooldown. Has the user attacking a cone in front of itself, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon, decreasing their movement speed for a short time. If this move hits opposing Pokemon from behind, it deals increased damage and a greater decrease to their movement speed. Yeah, so this is just an AoE damage and shortens their movement speed. And if you hit them from behind, there's even more damage and a greater decrease in movement speed. So this is cracked on like an early game Pokemon. Like, his moves are just goated. They're written so well. Level 6, you get Feint Attack or Confuse Ray. This is where it gets interesting. So Feint Attack has the user throw dummy Aeos energy to designated location. While dummy Aeos energy remains at that location and the area around it will be visible to the user. So this is basically like, you know, you can see around the map wherever you leave Aeos energy. So you can leave these around and you will see enemies that try to pick it up or walk towards it. Dummy Aeos energy can remain at up to 5 locations. If opposing Pokemon picks up dummy Aeos energy, that energy explodes, dealing damage over time to that Pokemon and decreasing their movement speed for a short time. A maximum of 3 uses can be kept in reserve for this move. That's really cool. Upgrade. If opposing Pokemon is knocked out while taking damage over time from this move, it will drop more Aeos energy than it normally would. And we got to test that out and see how much energy they drop. Maybe they'll just drop everything, you know. The other option is Confuse Ray. This is 1-second cooldown. This one's 8-second cooldown. This is a hindrance. And this one's insane. Has the user fire a sinister ray in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon that hits. If the move hits a Pokemon from the other team, it also leaves them confused. While confused, another new status effect. Pokemon are left unable to act and start continuously attacking nearby Pokemon with basic attack. Confused Pokemon will target nearby Pokemon in the following order of priority. First, their teammates, then wild Pokemon, and last, your teammates as the user. That's insane. So imagine you hit a team fight with Confuse Ray. The Pokemon will literally just start hitting each other. That's nuts. That's a whole brief second where they're just taking so much damage from, like, maybe they have a Garchomp on their team. Maybe they have a Tyranitar doing true damage, and he just hits them with a basic attack, and then your team is still fighting them. Like, what? This is crazy. Upgraded version also increases the movement speed and basic attack of Pokemon from the other team while this move has left them confused. The movement speed and basic attack speed. What? So they hit and get to each other even faster. Man, we gotta test this out. I can't explain how hype I am for this character. This is like my most anticipated character ever. Unite move. And if it wasn't good enough, this is insane. Phantom Ambush. Have the user shoot a light from both of its eyes, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in the area effective in front of itself. Pokemon from the other team hit by this move, who are facing the user, are left unable to act and start preparing to return to base. Preparing to return to base. You can literally go invisible and wait in lane for someone to walk towards you and just hit them with a Unite move. You don't even have to fight them. You don't have to do any damage. You can literally just wait in lane, catch someone in their off lane, and just Unite move them and get them out the team fight. Literally. Or you could enter the team fight invisible in front of your team. You know, say you're pushing towards Regieleki, and you can just Unite move the other team. And if they don't take damage, they're forced to go back. And then you just take Regieleki for free. This is insane. Pokemon, where was I? If they take damage before returning to base, the effect is canceled, and they are left unable to act for a short time. So you can hit them with it, stun them, and then hit them anyway if you could get the kill. But if you don't even want to fight them, you could just ship them home and tell them come back later. Opposing Pokemon hit by this move who are not facing user have their movement speed decreased for a short time. So if you don't catch them at the right angle, they just get slowed, which is still really good, and it just does damage. You know, it also does damage. So this character is loaded with moves. I think the combination build, you could go either or. If you're looking for damage, obviously you want to go with Knockoff, because Knockoff does a lot of damage and it takes Aeos energy. It throws and it stuns and you heal yourself. You could run Knockoff with the Confuse Ray, hit them with Confuse Ray, they attack each other, hit them with Knockoff, and do damage while they're damaging each other, which is insane. Or you could run Feint Attack. Feint Attack and Confuse Ray work with Knockoff anyway. Because Feint Attack, you just throw the fake Aeos energy into the team fight, they take it, they start burning for damage, and you're coming through hitting them anyway, and it just works really well together. The other option be Shadow Sneak. I like Shadow Sneak, and you can kind of play like a ghost build all game, and hit the Shadow Sneak, walk around, leaving Feint Attack around the map, fake Aeos energy, so you can get a visual of when they're in the jungle, when they're here. Or you could go invisible and run Confuse Ray, and you could sneak up, hit them with Confuse Ray, hit someone with a boosted basic, put them under fear. There's just so many ways you can play this. So I think he's instantly gonna be meta, and I think you really want to run damage on him because he probably could pump out damage. So let's go. For now, we're gonna go. What's the move? The glasses, wise glasses. This is the build I'm gonna rock with. I don't think you even need the XP share because yeah, your support and you don't need your levels that much, but you know, you don't need to worry about, you don't need to play with your team on this character. So I'm gonna assume I'd rather have a higher cooldown and a little more special attack with Shell Bell and Focus Band depending on my health. I don't know how, how tanky, not tanky he is. Let's put on Flash so we can get around the practice arena quicker, and let's just get into the practice and test him out.